Well, this is the wild ride I'm on right now. Put a new compressor on here, new lines on here. Everything worked fine until the compressor fitting got broke on the compressor and when the motor got rebuilt. Now, the AC compressor won't cut on. Not sure what the problem is. It's weird. So anyway, I jumped the pressure switch. Pressure switch is jumped. Come in here, turn the key on. Nothing. Now, take my ground, and this is where the pressure switch grounds. And the compressor comes on. So I don't know. I gotta chase, I guess, the other half of that pressure switch's ground circuit. Should be fun. Alright, so these kind of run in a chain. I'm just making sure they're grounded right. One feeds the other. And according to our little unit, that wire's fine, so I guess I gotta chase the other half of this. I guess that's the high pressure switch. Chase where its ground is coming from. Moving along, now we are where the harness goes through the cab from the outside. The wire I'm chasing was a 180, now it's a A495, and we're going to test it. Alright, a little guy's chirping. It's something inside the truck. Alright, moving along. So the wiring should be good. I guess maybe it's a relay. Alright, so diving into this and looking at the schematic before I start swapping relays, because that would have seemed painfully obvious, and I already swapped that one and that one and didn't change nothing. Then chasing on the schematic, this wire is going to the sleeper heater, and I've never had a fuse just come apart like that. So I don't know if that's the problem, but it's not good. I mean, I guess physically it's still good, but it's not good at the same time. Alright, I replaced that fuse. Nothing changed. So now I'm testing to make sure we got ground. That says we have ground. This other, that wire, couldn't get a test light in there. But anyway, that is where that melted fuse was feeding that wire. So that has power. So somewhere between here and there. That's the only wire I haven't tested is the one that's left. So check into that. And I got this thing hooked up to the top terminal of that relay. That's wire 152. 152. There's this fat one in the middle. And the little guy's chirping. So that goes into the switch. It also goes to blower motor resistor somewhere up in the harness. I don't know what that has to do with price rise in China. I did put a blower motor resistor in it, so I may test that while I'm testing, but really looking like a switch to me. Alright. Still got our squawk box hooked up over there in the fuse box. This top one here is that 152 wire. And our little squawker squawking. I'm gonna test it going to that and make sure it still works going down there. And then I'm just gonna decide, I guess it's the switch is bad. And got it hooked into that. So all things point back to that switch. So I may try and rig it because I want some air conditioner. Been like 4 months without it, and I'm tired of not having it. So I'm gonna see what I can do. Alright, so I guess I was on the wrong end of the circuit because, you know, nothing's not like a creek. It don't show what way it flows on the schematic. So I spliced into that, I think it was 152, whichever wire that I chased all the way to the blower motor resistor. It did not turn the AC compressor on. So I found the A495, which is good there. And it's good over here. So I'm going to splice into this wire and ground it and then see if it works, because it didn't work when I spliced into the 152. Alright, so last night couldn't sleep thinking about this thing. Trying to figure it out, diving over the schematic on my phone, found just the HVAC schematic, which I didn't realize I had on my phone yesterday, but I printed it off now, so that's a little better. Was testing yesterday from like the engine side inwards, and it seemed like everything was working. But anyway, so I tested, make sure I had, you know, power and ground in here, on some other relays. Swapped relays around. I did swap out the blower motor resistor last night. That didn't change anything because I did replace that recently. So tested, made sure I had ground on this 631. And 631, US controlled through the switch, goes to that A495. Goes over here to the Freon switch. That was good. Tested ground outside. Jumped it so it sent ground to the low pressure Freon switch. Tested ground there. And I got this 570. Well, 570 is the wire I was grounding in here that was turning the compressor on, but it wasn't, you know, I was forcing it to come on. So I remember testing it yesterday, I thought, but maybe I missed something. So I'm working on that again. So here's a little power source. Oh, you're not working now. Why are you not working? Anyways, you get the idea. That's power. It was grounded on this. Then I was testing from there. You got this little plug here. I was bypassing this plug, and I was testing to 570 right there, which it's got a little corrosion. I was thinking maybe this one had corrosion, but I wasn't getting any ground there. Test light wasn't lighting up, and I don't think I had this apart yesterday. Well, took it apart, looked fine. I mean, there's a little corrosion in there, but ultimately looked fine. Well, kept messing with it and pulled this guy out. He does not look fine. This is the 570 wire that runs into the fuse panel. So how me grounding it out yesterday, I guess it just grounding it finishes completing that circuit, because it's, I guess, going this way, not outward in, or not inside out. It's going in, outside in. Anyway, so I don't have one of these connectors. I guess I'm just gonna maybe add a little strip so I don't take too much wire and butt splice it together. See if that fixes it. Upon further inspection, I think I'm just gonna do away with this connector, because I was trying to see how this comes apart. I don't know if you pull that rubber out and push them forward. I've never done one of these, I don't believe. But anyways, that one popped out too, so I think I'm just gonna put some solder butt connectors there. I mean, the only reason I can see you need this is just to replace this harness. You can just unplug it or whatever, but it's not really a need, I guess. You can just butt splice it back together later if you gotta take it apart. Might be overkill. I like these solder connectors, but I'm gonna put some heat shrink over it because I don't really want to touch it again, and should be no reason to for a while. I mean, honestly, I was probably going to be back in here anyway, so I don't feel so bad about putting butt connectors in, really. Alright, so that's that. All done. These are those solder connectors I use. Well, you can't see one, but anyway. Those things. And then this heat shrink is the stuff with the glue in it. So everything should be sealed up good. Put this back together, start it up, and see if that changed anything. Here's the bunk. Now turn this on. I guess we found it. Should be kicking on momentarily. Alright, so everything seems to be working like it was supposed to, as God intended. Where I screwed up yesterday, and whether it would have helped me figure it out, I guess it would have, but I did not test from here to that pressure switch. I tested, just assumed it was fine, didn't test to that connector. Couldn't get it apart. It was kind of giving me a fight, so I didn't take it apart. But anyways, so I just tested from here to the fuse box. That was fine. Just from here to that pressure switch was not fine. But either way, figured it out in the end. So on to the next project, I guess.